Hello, my fabulous first graders. We are moving on to our last section, our last lesson in topic 11, and it's our math practices and problem solving section where we take everything we've learned so far in our topic and we use it to help us solve some word problems. Our word problem on page 647 is Val picks 40 strawberries. She shares 20 of them with her brother. How many strawberries did Val keep for herself? So when we look at a word problem, we have to ask ourselves, all right, what do we need to find out? Well, we need to figure out how many she kept for herself, right? And what do we already know? Well, we know she picks 40. We know that she shared 20 of them. So we ask ourselves, what do we need to know? And what do we already know? And then from there, we can put together our equation and solve. We can make a model or draw a picture, right? So here, Val picks 40 strawberries. Let's see, I will do a picture for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are my 10s. Make it a little fancier. You can do lines though, we know that. And then she shared 20 of them. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut 10, 20. Those are the ones she already gave to her brother. And that means she has how many left? The 2 10s. So 40 minus the 20 she shared with her brother is going to leave her with 20 for herself. Another way I could do that one would be, I can draw my 10 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10, 10, 10, 10. So there's the 40. And there's the 20 she shared. So when we look at them and we're comparing them, these match up. These match up. That leaves 2 10s that are not matched up. 2 10s equals, that's right, 20. Or you could 40 and then line up the 20. Just when you do it this way, you need to just make sure that your 1s are lined up and your 10s are lined up. So I'm going to cover those. I'm going to say 0 minus 0 is 0. 4 minus 2. Oh, doubles fact. We know that. 2. So we subtracted our 1s and then we subtracted our 10s. So, same answers. All right. Over on page 648 at the top, it's about Nate and some apples. And they show you just what I just showed you. It says Nate has 70 green apples. He has 30 red apples. How many more green apples does Nate have than red ones? So they want you to compare those two numbers. So what do we need to find out? How many more? What do we know? There are 70 green and 30 red. So how can we model this problem? They chose to do the boxes like I just did. So they lined up 7 10s, and then they lined up 3 10s, and then they said, all right, let's see, they're lined up, they're lined up, they're lined up. That leaves 4 10s more on this side. 4 10s equals 40. Okay? All right, number 1 is done for us, so we're going to do number 2 together to practice. It says Andy has 84 baseball cards. He gives away 10. How many cards does he have now? Right, so give away tells us this is subtract. So there's our 2 numbers, and we need to find out how many he has now. So with this one, I can draw a picture, sure. Or I can use mental math, which I probably would whenever it's minus 10 or a difference of 10, because I can do that in my head. I know that because I know that I would just look at the 10s place and go 1 less. So 84, 10 less than 84 is 74. The 1s stay the same. Okay, over on page 649, you're going to practice on your own. There are 3 word problems here, and you're going to use drawings, models, or equations to solve them. So Viola has 80 stickers. Dean has 60 stickers. How many more? There's our key words there that tell us to subtract. Stickers does Viola have than Dean? So there's your 2 numbers. that you need to make your subtraction with, and you can choose which way to do it here. You can draw the squares like they did here and see how they line up. You can draw the 10s and 1s sticks, and you can draw 80 and then just cross off the 60. You can line them up to make a math problem like I was showing you with 80 minus 60, which is the same way as thinking of it as 8 10s minus 6 10s equals. You can draw 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I really want them to line up. 8. And then 60 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you do it like this, make sure you're putting a 10 in each box. Because to me, if I just saw this on your page, I would think that those were 1s. Because that's how we kind of draw our 1s blocks, right? So because I'm putting the 10 in here, I'm telling you, nope, these aren't 1s, these are 10s. So when I look at these and they line up, I notice that these two are not lined up. They don't match. So there are 2 more over here. And 2 10s is the same answer, right? Or you can draw 80. 1, 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then you could cross out the 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And see how many you have left. So whichever way you want to do it. Your call, your choice. Number 4, Carla has a book with 50 pages. She reads 20 pages. How many pages does she have left? Again, solve it any way that you want to. Number 5, a store has 72 toy cars. It sells 10 cars. How many cars does the store have left? Same idea. We're subtracting. There's your numbers. So you do it in the way that works for you. Over on the back, page 650, you have some more word problems. It says dog walking. James, Emily, and Simon walk dogs after school. On Monday, they have 40 dogs to walk. James and Emily take 20 of the dogs for a walk. How many dogs are left to walk? So that's your word problem, and these 2 questions go with it. So what problem do you need to solve? So here you're going to say, I need to know how many dogs are left. I need to figure out 40 minus 20. And then it asks you, what tool or tools can you use to solve this problem? So here's where you tell, okay, I could use a number line. I could use a hundreds chart. I could use my brain and do mental math. I can use paper and pencil and draw a model. You're just going to tell what tool or tools you would be able to use. So these 2 questions go with this word problem. And number 8, write an equation to show the problem. Oops, I'm sorry. All of these questions go with this problem because number 8 is talking about that too. So write an equation to show the problem. So now that you've told what you need to solve, what tools you need, now you're going to actually solve it. So here you're going to fill in your numbers and write your equation. You put the symbol in here, your subtraction, and the other number in here, and that's where your answer goes. And then you can solve it any way you want to there. Okay. Then you're going to move on and do the extra practice part on page 651. They give you another little lesson up here that goes over the same exact thing if you need it. And then you have some word problems to practice. It says use drawings, models, or equations to solve. Show your work. Jan puts 40 songs on a playlist. John puts 40 songs on a playlist. He takes 10 songs off. How many are still on? Okay, so how would you solve that? Any way you want to. You can use a drawing, you can use a model, you can write an equation. Number 2, Tammy sees 24 ants. 10 ants go into an anthill. How many ants are left? So again, solve it any way you want to there. On the back, there's a couple more practice. So just like on page 650 where they had the problem at the top and then 3 questions about the same thing, page 652 is the same. So this is our word problem up here. And this is what they're talking about in all 3 of these. So Jack puts 80 socks, hey Jack, in a basket. he sorts 50 socks into one pile, how many socks does he still need to sort? So the first they're asking you, what tool or tools would you choose to use when you solve this problem? I don't know. What are you going to use? Are you going to draw a picture? Are you going to use a number line? Are you going to use a model, blocks? Are you going to use a hundreds chart? You put your answer there. And number 4, draw a picture and write an equation to solve it. So now you're going to actually solve this problem. You're going to plug in the numbers to write your equation, and then you're going to draw a picture to show it what's happening. So you're going to draw his 80 and you minus the 50. And then number 5, how can you check that your answer makes sense? Good question. Well, that one I want you to think about, but I'll give you a little clue. Think about what we know about fact families and related addition and subtraction facts. And think about, try to remember back to when we go over our daily morning work. And I would tell you, okay, here's your problem. You can now do this to check if it's right, right? So see if you can try to remember. And the clue to this one is, think of fact families and how facts are related. All right, good luck. I know you guys will do great. If you need me, I'm right here for you always. Miss you so much. Oh, one more thing. If the weather is beautiful today too, please take your book outside and do it out there. Get some fresh air. Just because you're having to do schoolwork doesn't mean that it has to be stuck sitting at a table or sitting somewhere at your house inside. Get outside, enjoy the fresh air. You can bring your book right out there with you. All right, good luck.